Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine you are 12 years old again. You're sitting on a worn Persian rug at the feet of someone you love and respect more than anyone in the world. The air is quiet, save for the sound of their voice. They are not just telling you stories. They are handing you the keys to a kingdom. Keys that most people spend their entire lives searching for and never find. This is not just another financial advice book. This is not about get rich quick, schemes, volatile cryptocurrency, or stock tips that could ruin you by tomorrow. If you're looking for that, the exit is right there. This book will test you. It will test your patience, your attention span, and most importantly, your willingness to believe that true, lasting wealth is built not just with money, but with mindset. What you're about to experience is a complete audiobook-style narration of a new, unpublished work titled The Seed of Fortune, A Grandfather's Guide to Building a Legacy. Written by Kaunain Rizvi. This is a full, uninterrupted 3-hour and 45-minute narrative journey. There will be no fancy edits, no flashy graphics, no quick cuts to keep your distracted mind entertained. There is only my voice and the power of this story to paint pictures in your mind that are far more vivid than any video clip could ever be. For that reason, I urge you to listen to this alone. Find a quiet space, put on your headphones, drive on a long, open road. This is not background noise. This is a course. This is an experience. Your ability to focus on this without distraction is the first test of whether you possess the patience required to actually build something of value in your life. If you cannot sit through this, you likely lack the discipline to build lasting wealth. It is that simple. So, who is this for? This is for the individual who feels stuck in the hamster wheel of earning and spending. This is for the parent who wants to leave more for their children than just bills. This is for the young adult who knows there must be a better way than the debt-fueled lifestyle society promotes. This is for anyone who has ever felt that money controls them instead of the other way around. This story is structured as 10 distinct chapters, each a foundational pillar in the architecture of wealth. We begin not with investment strategies, but with stage 0, mindset and awareness, because without the right soil, the most valuable seed will die. You will learn why wealth starts in the mind, and why without believing you can grow, no money plan will ever work. From there, we will methodically build your financial fortress. You will learn to craft your unbreakable vessel in stage 1, budgeting and saving. You will learn to tame the dragon of debt in stage 2, debt and credit mastery. You will learn to dig the many rivers of income in stage 3. We will then move to the engine room. Stage 4, investing and compounding, where you learn to build your reservoir. Stage 5, taxes and legal optimization, will teach you to build the invisible fence that protects your gains. Stage 6, wealth protection and inflation, will arm you against the silent thief that erodes everything. And in the final stages, we ascend to the highest levels of wealth mastery. Stage 7, advanced growth and leverage, introduces the master's tools. And finally, we culminate in stage 8, legacy and mastery, which is not about money, but about meaning, about designing a life and a legacy that extends far beyond your years. This book will change your life, not by giving you a hot stock tip, but by giving you a new pair of eyes to see the world. You will start to see dollars as seeds, budgets as vessels, and debts as dragons. You will understand that patience compounds faster than speed, and that consistency will always, always beat luck. The author, Kanane Rizvi, has crafted this not as a dry textbook, but as a timeless fable. It is a story that will stay with you long after this book ends. The journey is long. The path requires discipline. But the destination is a freedom that most people only dream of. A freedom not just from financial worry, but from the anxiety of not being in control of your own life. If you are ready to undertake that journey, to listen, to learn, and to truly change, then I invite you to get comfortable. Let everything else fade away. This is the Seed of Fortune. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The Garden of the Mind. Imagine, if you will, a house that feels like a library and a grandfather's embrace at the same time. The air smells of old books and fresh lemonade. Sunlight, thick and golden like honey, spills through a large bay window, illuminating dancing dust motes. In the center of this warm, quiet room, in a large, worn leather armchair that has molded itself to his shape over decades, sits Arthur Pendleton. Arthur is 80 years old. His success isn't shouted from billboards. It's whispered in the calm certainty of his eyes, the steady hands that have built empires from ideas. And curled on the rug at his feet, chin in his hands, is his 12-year-old grandson, Leo. Leo's mind is a whirlwind of video games, soccer practice, and the overwhelming mystery of, well, everything. Today, that mystery has a name: money. Leo has just come from the mall, where his allowance vanished faster than ice cream on a summer day, leaving him with a cheap plastic toy that already feels hollow. He looks up at his grandfather, the man who seems to have unlocked every secret of the world. Leo, Grandpa, how did you get all this? Was it just one big idea? Arthur smiles, a network of kind wrinkles spreading from his eyes. He doesn't answer directly. Instead, he reaches for a simple clay pot on the side table. In it, a single, magnificent sunflower grows, its face turned proudly towards the sun. Arthur, this, Leo, is where it all begins. Not with a big idea, but with a tiny seed, and more importantly, with the soil. Leo, the soil? What does dirt have to do with being rich? Arthur, everything, my boy. Absolutely everything. You can have the most miraculous seed in the world, but if you plant it in barren, rocky, poisoned soil, it will die. It will never break through the surface. Wealth, true and lasting wealth, is no different. The money, the houses, the businesses, those are just the plants, the flowers, the fruits that everyone sees. But they all grow from a seed, and that seed must be planted in the right soil. He leans forward, his voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. Arthur, and that soil, Leo, is your mind. And so begins the first lesson. Chapter 1. The Garden of the Mind. For the next 25 minutes, we will journey with Leo and Arthur. We will not talk about stocks, or real estate, or crypto. Not yet. Today, we prepare the soil. We will learn the 10 fundamental laws of the wealth mindset. For without this foundation, no amount of money will ever be enough. Without the right soil, the strongest seed will fail. Principle 1. The seed of belief. Arthur, the first law, Leo, is the law of belief. Wealth starts not in a bank, but as a single, fragile thought right here. He taps Leo's forehead gently. You must believe, truly believe in your bones, that you are capable of growing, that you can learn, that you can adapt, that you can create value. Without that belief, no plan, no strategy, no lottery win will ever work for long. It would be like giving a complex spaceship to someone who believes the world is flat. They would never even attempt to fly it. Arthur's words paint a picture. Visualize a vast, empty field. Two people stand at the edge. One looks out and sees only weeds and hard work. Their shoulders slump. It's impossible, they think, and they walk away. The other looks at the same field and sees potential. They imagine rows of corn, orchards of apple trees. They believe they can clear the land, plant the seeds, and nurture the growth. That belief is the first shovel that breaks the earth. That belief is the fundamental difference. Your financial reality will never consistently exceed your self-belief. The ceiling of your wealth is first constructed in your mind. Learning for the audience. Your journey to financial freedom begins with a single decision: to believe you are capable of it. This isn't blind faith. It's a commitment to yourself. It's choosing to be the second person in the field. Before you look at your bank account, look inward. Do you believe you can grow? If not, that is the very first seed you must plant. Principle 2. The dollar seed. Leo, but Grandpa, my allowance is so small. What can I even do with $5? Arthur. Aha! The second law, the law of the seed. You see that sunflower? It was once a small black speck, no bigger than your fingernail. It held within it the entire blueprint for this magnificent plant. Your $5, Leo, is not just $5. It is a seed. Most people see a dollar and think of what it can buy today: a candy bar, a song online. They consume it. But a wealthy mindset sees that same dollar and asks, what can this grow into over time? They plant it. Let's visualize this. A dollar bill floats down. Instead of being grabbed and spent, it gently lands in rich soil. A tiny green shoot emerges from George Washington's face. That shoot grows into a small plant. Then, on that plant, new dollar bills begin to bloom. Those are not just dollars. They are new seeds themselves, ready to be planted again. This is the power of a seed. Every single dollar you choose not to spend today, but instead save or invest, is not a sacrifice. It is an act of planting. You are a farmer of your future, and every dollar saved is a seed placed in the earth, full of potential. Learning for the audience. Shift your perspective from what can this dollar buy to what can this dollar become. Every financial decision is a choice: to consume a seed or to plant it. The wealthiest gardens are started with the smallest, most consistent plantings. Your first $10 invested is far more powerful than your $10,000 earned, because it's the first seed in your garden. Principle 3. The map of awareness. Arthur, now how do you know which seeds to plant and where? For that, you need a map. The third law is the law of awareness. You must track your spending, every single penny. Leo groans. That sounds so boring, like homework. Arthur, is it boring for a ship captain to look at his maps? If he ignores them, does the ocean care? No. The currents and storms will take him wherever they please. If you ignore your money, Leo, you are that captain, blindfolded. Money will control you. It will pull you here and there with every advertisement, every impulse, every social pressure. Tracking your money is not about restriction. It's about taking the wheel. It's drawing your own map so you decide the destination. Picture a vast, foggy ocean. A ship is tossed by waves, going in circles. The captain is below deck, oblivious. This is life without a budget. Now, see the captain on the bridge, a detailed map spread before him. He checks his compass, his sextant. He knows his exact location, his speed, and his destination. The ocean is still unpredictable, but he is no longer its victim. He is its master. Tracking your spending is that map. It removes the fog of ignorance. It tells you the truth. You see where your money actually goes, not where you think it goes. This awareness is the first, non-negotiable step toward control. Learning for the audience. Knowledge is power. Until you know where your money is going, you have no power over it. For 1 month, commit Principle 4, the patience of the oak. Leo, but what if I want the new game console now? Waiting is so hard. Arthur, and that right there is the dragon every wealth seeker must slay. The fourth law is the law of patience. Instant gratification is the poison in the soil. It kills the seeds before they can sprout. An oak tree that is 100 years old grew from a nut that held its ground. It didn't consume itself in a flash of fire for one warm night. Patience is what allows money to compound. Imagine 2 timelines. On the top, a line shoots up rapidly, a skyrocket. It represents buying the console now. There's a big spike of pleasure, and then the line flatlines. The pleasure is over. The money is gone. The seed was eaten. Now, imagine a second line, starting very low. It's almost flat. This is the $5 seed planted. It seems like nothing is happening. But slowly, imperceptibly at first, the line begins to curve upward. Then it steepens and steepens. Years later, that gentle, patient curve has soared far above the long-forgotten spike of the skyrocket. This is the visual of compounding. It's not exciting day to day. It's boring. It's quiet. But it is ruthlessly, miraculously effective. Patience is the water and sunlight that turns a seedling into an unshakable tree. Learning for the audience. The desire for immediate rewards is the biggest obstacle to building lasting wealth. Train yourself to see the future value of money over its present cost. Ask yourself, will this purchase provide value in a year, or will it be forgotten in a week? Choose the path of the oak, not the skyrocket. Principle 5. The sharpest tool. Arthur, so you have a seed, you have a map, and you have patience. But what if you don't know what to plant, or when to water? This is where most people fail. They want more seeds, but they don't know how to use them. The fifth law is this: financial education is more valuable than money itself. Leo, but you need money to make money, right? Arthur, no, Leo, you need knowledge to make money. And knowledge can be acquired without any money at all. If I gave $1,000 to a brilliant doctor and $1,000 to a reckless gambler, who would turn it into more? The doctor, because of his knowledge. If I took all their money away, who would build it back faster? The doctor, every time. Knowledge is the sharpest tool. Money is just the raw material. Without the tool, the material is useless. Visualize 2 people in a workshop. One has a massive pile of the finest wood and a dull, rusty saw. They sweat and struggle, but can barely cut a thing. The other person has only a small scrap of wood, but a laser-sharp precision toolkit. They craft a beautiful, intricate sculpture that is worth 100 times more than the big pile of uncut wood. The pile of wood is a lump sum of cash. The tools are knowledge. Investing in your financial education, reading books, listening to podcasts, taking courses is the process of sharpening your tools. It is what gives you the power to shape your financial raw material into something of great value. Learning for the audience. Dedicate time each week to sharpening your tools. Read a finance book. Follow a reputable market analyst. Learn the basics of accounting, investing, and debt management. This knowledge is an asset that no one can ever take from you, and it has the power to attract and build financial wealth forever. Principle 6. Uprooting the weeds of fear. Arthur, but Leo, even with knowledge, a gardener must be vigilant, for weeds will always try to grow. The sixth law is to guard your mind against the weeds of fear and a debt mindset. Leo, what's a debt mindset? Arthur, it is seeing the world through a lens of scarcity. It's believing I can't afford it is a permanent state rather than a temporary challenge. It's using debt for things that lose value, like that toy you bought today that will be broken next week. That kind of debt is a weed that chokes your seeds. And fear. Fear is the frost that kills growth. Fear of losing money, fear of looking foolish, fear of making a mistake. This fear paralyzes you. Confidence, on the other hand, is like sunshine. It attracts opportunities. People want to work with, invest in, and help those who are confident in their abilities and their future. See the beautiful garden of your mind. Lush green plants are your assets, your positive beliefs. But creeping in from the edges are thorny, ugly weeds with labels. I'm bad with money. I'll never get out of debt. What if I fail? A gardener with a scarcity mindset ignores the weeds. They take over. A gardener with a wealth mindset is constantly patrolling, plucking these weeds the moment they appear. They replace "I can't afford it" with "How can I afford it?" They see debt as a dangerous tool, not the solution. They understand that confidence isn't about having all the answers. It's about believing you can find the answers. Learning for the audience. Actively monitor your self-talk about money. Every time you hear a weed thought of fear or scarcity, consciously pluck it out and replace it with a seed thought of abundance and capability. I can't afford this becomes I choose not to spend my seeds on that right now. This mental gardening is critical. Principle 7. The tuition of experience. Leo, what if I plant a seed and it doesn't grow? What if I make a bad investment? Arthur, chuckles. You will, Leo. I certainly did. Many times. And that is the seventh law. Failures are not tombs. They are textbooks. Every mistake is a tuition fee you pay for your education. The only true failure is failing to learn the lesson. I lost a small fortune on a bad business deal when I was 30. It felt like the end of the world, but I studied that failure. I learned about due diligence, about partnerships, about contracts. That knowledge saved me 10 times that amount later on. That failure was the best investment in my education I ever made. Picture a lab scientist. They don't expect every experiment to work. A failed experiment is not a disaster. It's data. It tells them what doesn't work, bringing them one step closer to what does. Now picture a toddler learning to walk. They don't fall down once and think, well, I guess I'm a crawler for life. They fall down 100 times. Each fall teaches their body about balance, about gravity. Each fall is tuition. Your financial mistakes are the same. A bad purchase, a failed side hustle, a poorly timed investment. These are not signs that you should quit. They are the necessary, invaluable falls that teach you how to walk and eventually run financially. Learning for the audience, reframe your financial mistakes. Instead of feeling shame and hiding from them, analyze them with cold, hard curiosity. What went wrong? What was the trigger? What will I do differently next time? Write down the lesson. That lesson is an asset you now own. You have paid for it with your tuition fee. Make sure it was worth the price. Principle 8. Your own measuring stick. Arthur and Leo, as you start on this path, you must remember the 8th law. The only person you should compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday. Looking at your neighbor's bigger car or your friend's new phone is like comparing your sunflower seedling to a full-grown tree in their yard. You don't know how long that tree took to grow, what soil it's in, or if it's even healthy underneath. Comparison is the thief of joy and a distraction from your own garden. Visualize 2 runners. One is running their own race on their own track. They are focused on their breathing, their pace, beating their personal best from last week. The other runner is constantly looking sideways at the other tracks, trying to speed up to match someone else's pace, getting discouraged when someone else is ahead, burning themselves out. They are miserable and their performance suffers. Your financial journey is your own race. Your income, your debts, your assets, your risks, they are unique to you. Your only healthy metric is progress from your own starting point. Are you better off than you were a month ago? A year ago? That is the only measure that matters. Learning for the audience, unsubscribe from the comparison game. Mute social media accounts that make you feel inadequate about your finances. Your goal is not to have what someone else has. Your goal is to build a life that is rich and fulfilling for you, on your own terms and your own timeline. Principle 9. The North Star. Arthur, but how do you know which direction to run? For that, you need a destination. The 9th law is the law of clarity. You must visualize your financial goals. See them, feel them, make them so real in your mind that they pull you forward. Leo, like wanting a new bike? Arthur, deeper than that. Why do you want the bike? For the feeling of freedom, wind in your hair, exploring new paths? Visualize that feeling. Now think bigger. What does financial freedom look like to you? Is it working because you want to, not because you have to? Is it providing a college education for your children? Is it a home by the lake? See it. Write it down. Clarity is a magnet. A fuzzy goal creates fuzzy results. A clear, vivid goal drives decisive action every single day. Imagine an archer. The first archer shoots arrows randomly into a distant fog. They have no idea if they hit anything. The second archer has a clearly defined, brightly lit target. Every action, drawing the bow, aiming, releasing, is precise and intentional. They may not hit the bullseye every time, but they are constantly getting closer. Your financial goals are that target. I want to be rich is fog. I want to have $250,000 invested to generate $1,000 a month in passive income within 15 years is a target. This clarity dictates how you aim your financial arrows every day, how much you save, what you learn, where you invest. Learning for the audience. Take time today to define your target. Don't just think it, ink it. Write down specific, measurable, and vivid financial goals for 1 year, 5 years, and 10 years from now. Read them every morning. This act programs your brain to recognize the opportunities and make the choices that align with hitting that target. Principle 10. The focus on the root. Arthur. And finally, Leo, the 10th law of the mindset. Most people focus on income, the leaves and fruit of the tree. They think a bigger job, a higher salary, is the answer. But a storm can strip a tree of all its leaves and fruit. If the tree is strong, it will grow more. The wealthy focus on assets, the root system. Your job is the leaves. Your assets, the things that make money for you while you sleep, are the roots. Nurture the roots, and the tree will grow strong and bear fruit for generations. And as the golden light in the room began to deepen into twilight, Leo looked not at the expensive furniture, but at the simple clay pot holding the sunflower. He saw it differently now. He saw the invisible soil. He saw the patient growth. He saw the deep roots. Leo, so we didn't even talk about money today, did we? Arthur smiles. Oh, but we did, Leo. We talked about the only money that truly matters. The money that grows between your ears. Before you can build a fortune out there, you must first build the foundation for it in here. Taps Leo's head again. Leo had learned the first and most important lesson. He had been given the keys to the garden of his mind. But a question remained. Once your soil is prepared and you have your first precious seeds, where do you plant them? How do you protect them from the elements? How do you make your garden grow? Arthur, that, Leo, is a story for next time. The story of the vessel. Join us next time for Chapter 2 of The Seed of Fortune, The Vessel. We will learn how to build an unbreakable container for your wealth, to keep your seeds safe until they are ready to grow. This was just one chapter of a much greater legacy. Imagine holding the full journey in your own hands. Every lesson, every principle, every seed of wisdom that can grow into your future wealth. You don't have to stop here. The complete book, The Seed of Fortune, is waiting for you, available as both ebook and physical copy. The link is in the description. Written by Conain Rizvi.